Matt, you didn't come to this event last year, circumstances being
Right.
different and whatnot. Just what are your thoughts about this event and being before so many media for the first time, that sort of thing?
Yeah, excited about being my first SEC Media Day, but as I was thinking last night, this is my 18th season, coming up on my 18th season as a player or coach in the Southeastern Conference. It's been really a privilege to be part of such a great conference for so long, and just excited to represent Rebel Nation here today.
Did you come to this as a player?
I did not.
Okay.
I don't know if they had it that far ago. that was a while back in the 18 years. So,
What are your thoughts on this season as you rapidly approach August 4th or whatever?
no, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about the way we finished last year. A lot of momentum, coming in and winning 3 of the last 4 games, and then having a great recruiting class, and then a really productive spring. And I like the way our guys are working this summer. Not only strength and conditioning wise, but also from that culture standpoint, you can really see it building. And I think that maybe all the experiences these guys have been through have really brought them together, and just excited to see that grow. And then I think for me, wanting to put a product on the field that when the Ole Miss fans watch it, they're like, hey, that's my team. I'm proud of the Ole Miss Rebels. I think that's I do carry that responsibility of putting a product on the field that everybody's proud of.
Last year, you really didn't have any time to get ready for camp. I mean, you had a
Right.
few days. Now that you've had time, how will this fall camp be different, if at all, from the one you did last year?
I think continuity in this day and age is very important. I thought it was very important having the same system on offense and defense, and we do have, I think we have 15 returning starters coming back in the same offense and the same defense. So really just trying to build on what we started at the end of last season. I think that's how it will be different.
With the absence of Dede now, who's kind of the next up in that corners rotation?
Well, I think we are really deep in that area. I think Jalen has done a good job. Kim Webster's a senior. Javian Hamilton's really good. Has some good young corners coming in. I've been very impressed with Ja'Cory Hawkins and Kedron Smith. Both those guys have a lot of athleticism. So we are fortunate to be pretty deep in the secondary.
Matt, the goal seems like whatever teams always go to a bowl. When you can, what's the goal?
Well, you know what? I think having gone through that already, I think the kids know what to expect, and that's the way we're planning. But the thing I was most proud of was how the young men played for each other. And if you see these guys right now, they're getting up every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're working, they're lifting in the afternoon, and they're really putting a lot of time in. And there's several of these young men that have goals of playing in the NFL, but their work ethic and how they play for each other has been really impressive.
Matt, we mentioned the 1-year anniversary of you becoming interim head coach, but what have you developed most in your coaching over that year?
Well, I think it doesn't come with a handbook, so you learn things by experience. But I do think me being around a lot of really good head coaches for so long really helped prepare me for this. And then obviously with my knowledge and comfort level with Ole Miss, that has really helped. But I think that what you do is you take a little bit from everybody that you've been around and kind of put your own flavor with it, and then there it is. But obviously will be easier to handle all the time constraints that you're under. That was for me the biggest challenge, was dealing with media, dealing with recruiting, dealing with your players. I think that will all be 1 year better.
What do you need to see, Matt, in your running backs early in camp? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
That was obviously a big part of our spring, was trying to replace Jordan Wilkins on offense and then trying to stop the run on defense. So we were able to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone this spring with that. But I was very impressed with Scotty Phillips, Isaiah Woolard. I think I've said a couple times, those were kind of the surprises of spring and how well they did. And I think that competition has really pushed Eric Sweeney to get better too. So just pleased with where those running backs were.
Have you gotten any kind of update on the appeals process, or when you guys might have the in-person hearing?
No, I think the hearing is going to be sometime this month, but I think we'll find out sometime this fall. And what we're doing, we're preparing just like we're not going to a bowl game. Then if it does come through, then it'll be a bonus. But our mindset is kind of prepare for the worst. And if we do get good news back, then it'll be a bonus.
Will you attend that?
No.
What have been the reports on how Tiama has done this summer? And I think as a quarterback to do.
Yeah, no, I think to see him, this is his team now, and that's been fun for me to watch him grow. I think he finished the season I think he exceeded all of our expectations last year, everybody. And to see him continue to grow and him now have a full off-season, a full spring, a full summer to develop that rapport with not only the receivers but the running backs and the O-line, I think I'm looking for really big things out of him and continue to get better.
When did it become clear to you that he knew that this was his team now?
You know what? I think we knew that he was talented. He could run and he could throw, but his first 7 possessions were scoring drives, and I think when he did that, everybody's like, okay. And the way and then I think somewhere in the Texas A&M game, he got hit under the chin and took a really big hit, and then came back and battled back. And then going on the road twice in the Southeastern Conference, 2-minute drive to win a game on the road. I think all those things, along with the type of young man he is, I think it all just kind of culminated, and the guys kind of appreciated that.
What's the timetable, Matt, for Penniman getting back on the field?
You know what? It was a pretty significant injury.
Yeah.
He is running and trying to get back into shape. I will probably know more at the end of fall camp or maybe the first few games, but it was a very significant injury, and it'll just have to be a kind of a wait and see approach. But he is back running. It'll be interesting to see how far he comes along.
Do you anticipate some availability for him this season?
It probably maybe middle to the end of the season, if at all.
Any signees that you're still waiting to get on campus?
Yes. So we have several. We have not several, but we have 2 or 3 that are still trying to make their grades, and we'll know more here in the next couple of
Who are
weeks.
you waiting on?
Waiting on Noah and Tyrese Tisdale.
Hey, on the appeal, would a rollback of the unofficial visit restrictions be a bigger deal than getting a bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's obviously a very significant penalty, and you have to be prepared for things like that. But we still get to go out and evaluate. We still get to have the official visits. But I think you have to be prepared for things like that, and we are.
Do you handle the freshmen any differently this year with the 4-game thing?
Yeah, I think, I really like that rule. It kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility. If you think a guy is is really trending up pretty early, you can put him in a game. Or if a guy doesn't really know the offense, but he's talented, then he learns late, you can play him. So I really like the flexibility that new redshirt rule gives us. Whether it's at the beginning of the season or the end, you can really use those 4 games.
Coach, with the strength of the class in Mississippi this year, do you have to approach that recruiting differently than out-of-state recruiting?
Well, I think it always starts in Mississippi. We made a lot about me being Mississippi made and really focusing on Mississippi recruiting. I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of them want to see us play and win this season. But recruiting is going very well, and it is a strong year in the state.
Phil's offense, the way it is, and the wide receivers you guys have for Jordan, is it very much like just take what's in front of you? Don't overcomplicate things.
Yeah, they call it chasing space, and I think you put a lot on the quarterback. He's got to make a lot of split-second decisions, and But when we started really clicking on offense, we started running the ball better, and when that happens, it creates one-on-one matchups for our wide receivers, and so that's what you have to create. But to win in this league, you have to be able to run the ball, and you have to stop the run. And so that will always be a focus of ours, but it is a luxury for us to have 3 NFL wide receivers that if people do, load the box, we're going to have some good one-on-one matchups that we're going to win.
How do you feel about stopping the run? I mean, linebackers obviously an issue on your depth chart.
That's kind of the elephant in the room. Everybody wants to know, Coach Luke, how are you going to stop the run? It's been an area of emphasis, but in a little bit, I feel really good about our secondary. And I think we're going to find creative ways to load the box, different ways, different angles, and try to just put pressure on offenses and make them throw it over the top to beat us. And I think if we do that and we can continue to make people throw the long ball to try to beat us, make them throw it over the top, I think that will bode well for us.
How much last year, Matt, in stopping the run was just being beaten physically at the point of attack or being out of position?
You know what? I think it was a little bit of both. More times when you watch the tape, you're like, well, we weren't aligned correctly here, or we didn't do it exactly right there. And when we did it exactly right, it would work. I think the challenge in this league is you have to do it consistently over and over and over again, and it can get frustrating because then you'll fit it exactly right, and then a good running back will make somebody miss and get. So I think the more times you do it right over and over and over again, I think that's the key to being successful.
Did you see more times doing right in spring?
Sure. I mean, I think any time that you have continuity and the guys do the same thing over and over again, they're going to get better. So I think that's one of the things in this day and age where everybody wants change. I think continuity is good because the players are doing the same thing, the same defense, the same offense going into year 2.
Did you see improvement from the linebackers in spring?
I did. I mean, y'all were out there. Y'all saw Coach Summerall. I mean, he is a tremendous coach. So he's going to get every ounce. Hiring Taylor Polk, you know, he's out there now as a GA. I think he's got a lot of rapport with those linebackers. We have some talented young linebackers coming in. I'm anxious to see what Josh Clark and Momo are able to do with one more year under their belt. And, you know, but I did see some improvement and guys get better for sure.
You got Jalen Jones listed back at corner. I
Yep.
mean, you feel good about all the options you have at safety?
I do. Feel. I think Zedrick is one of the leaders on defense, and obviously CJ being the Chucky Mullins Award winner. I think those guys kind of give you 2 older stalwarts that played a lot of football in this league, and then you have a senior in Kim Webster and Jalen at corner. I feel really good about our secondary, and I think we can challenge some people. And like I said before, load the box and see if they'll test Jalen and Kim.